video will help you describe and implement OData operations and queries. Take a pause to read the OData services and the corresponding HTTP methods. OData defines a simple and powerful query language that allows a client to request arbitrary filtering, sorting and paging. A client is able to express query string parameters for the amount and order of data that an OData service returns for the resource identified by the URI. The names of all query string parameters defined by OData are prefixed with a $character. Take a pause to go through the operations and corresponding query options. $count is used to retrieve the number of entries of a collection. The framework supports $count out of the box. By default, it performs the full table scan. Take a look at the request, implementation and SQL equivalent of $count. $select is used to limit the result set for a consumer application by limiting the number of columns that are retrieved by the consumer. Take a look at the request, implementation and SQL equivalent of $select. $filter is used to limit the result set for a consumer application by limiting the number of rows and columns that are retrieved. A filter can be applied on all properties of an entity set. Take a look at the request, implementation and SQL equivalent of $filter. $top is used for client-side paging. Using this query option, the service will return the first end result specified by the number passed via $top. Take a look at the request, implementation and SQL equivalent of $top. $skip parameter is used while navigating to the second page. Client retrieves only 6 items but skip the first 6 entries. Take a look at the request, implementation and SQL equivalent of $skip. To determine the total number of values in client-side paging, the filter option $inline count is equal to all pages is used. In this case, no separate call for $count operation is required. It is used to reduce the additional round trip between the consumer and server, especially in case of mobile scenarios to improve performance. Take a look at the request, implementation and SQL equivalent of $inline count. Using the query options $skip, $top, $inline account, the results of a query can be displayed in several pages through which the consumer can navigate. This functionality is called client-side paging since the client forces the server to respond in a certain way. $expand is a query option that is similar to the navigation properties. It is used to retrieve several entities that are connected via navigation properties in one request or response cycle. $expand operation saves an additional round trip in the HTTP communication between client and server. In OData, the filter command only works on the top-level element. Take a pause to read through the use case and example where $expand has been used. This brings us to the end of this video.